Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Land and Home Show. On today's episode, we are talking all about most affordable acreage between 50 and 100 acres here in the Bluegrass region of Kentucky. Hi, I'm Stephen J.B. Davis, your land specialist and residential realtor here in Central Kentucky and beyond. And we're doing 50 to 100 acres on this video. If you haven't seen the previous video, you should go ahead and watch at least the beginning to understand what the Bluegrass region means. I'm not going to do the whole disclaimer thing, but cover 16 counties, and we're going to jump right in with how those 16 counties stack up in a big picture kind of way. So when we break down all of the acreage from like a bird's eye level, there were only 41 transactions. 41 is, I believe, 49 less than the 10 to 20 acre range, the video from last week. So what you can see there is that there is less demand, and with less demand generally means a lower price per acre, not necessarily a lower sale price, but there's definitely a lower price per acre. It's the Costco groceries kind of idea. You know, the more chicken you buy, the less money per pound that chicken is. You still may spend $40 on the package versus the $15 that you spent on 2 chicken breasts, but dollar for dollar, pound for pound, the more chicken you have, the cheaper it's going to be on that per unit basis. And so with acreage, it's the same thing. And that's the general trend here, is just that all of these numbers are going to be much lower when we start to break them down county by county. If we go on to the overall average of sale price to list price, or otherwise the discount that is gotten from what the sticker says versus what it closes as, you're talking about 89.9%, meaning on average people got about what is that, 10.1% off of the list price. An average of $358,000 for sale price, an average of 72 acres sold per transaction, an average of 80 days on market, and an average price of about $5,000 an acre. And if we just do a little bit of comparison before we get down to itemizing all of this stuff, just as a reminder, the average price for 10 to 20 acres was $149,000. Average acreage, of course, was much lower because it's a different acreage category. The average price per acre, $19,700. So a far cry from this video, 50 to 100 acres, of $5,000 an acre. The average discount was 9%. So people, there's not too much of a discount there. You get 1% more on average for a larger acreage. And like I said before, there were 90 total units sold. So then if we move back to the 50 to 100 acres, only 12 out of the 16 counties even had activity in them. So the counties that had 0 transactions between July of 2022 and 2023, Fayette, Clark, Scott, and Owen. Those were the 4 counties that had no sales of acreage in this range. Which is not all that surprising. Clark is a little bit, but Scott and Fayette are not. I guess Owen is a little bit. Nah, that's not surprising either, because Owen, they keep their land pretty tightly held, and it's a very, very small county. So that's the overall picture. Now we're just going to do our top 5 for price per acre, for all that kind of stuff. For average sale price, our 5th place winner, I guess, is Nicholas County with an average sale price of $302,000, $302,600 to be exact on average. Number 4, $271,400 in Harrison County, which is, I still maintain, is one of the best counties you can buy in. That's close to Lexington, easy to get to Lexington, but still there's value there. For Bath County, we've got number 3, and that would be $230,000 on average for each transaction. Montgomery County comes in at number 2, $219,700 on average for price. And number 1, this is very surprising to me, was Franklin County. On average, $207,500. $207,500. Gosh, I cannot think today. It's not even that hot. I don't know what's going on with my brain. Moving on to average price per acre. Coming at number 5 is Harrison County, $3,900 an acre. Number 4, Bath County, $3,700 an acre. Coming in at number 3 is Nicholas County, $3,500 an acre. Montgomery County comes in at number 2 with $2,900 per acre, and number 1 is Franklin County, coming with $2,800 an acre. So there's that. Average acres sold. So I like this stat to see, if you're trying to get the most acreage, how do the counties rank? So coming in at number 5 is Jessamine County, for 77 acres on average per transaction. Number 4 is Franklin County, 77.2 acres. Number 3 is Madison County, where you get 79.4 acres on average. And number 2, Garrard County. That's the first time I think we've seen Garrard show up in this acreage range or the previous one that I did in the other video, but they come in at 82.2 acres per transaction on average. And then number 1 for most acreage per transaction between 50 and 100 acres is Nicholas County at 82.9 acres. Average units sold. So this speaks to supply. Where have things been for sale the most and the most often and the most amount? And number 1 was a tie between Montgomery and Bath County. Each of them had 6 transactions in this 50 to 100 acre range. If you remember the previous sections of this video, they also frequently came in the top 5 for average price, as well as average price per acre. And then neither of them came in the average acres sold category at all. But Montgomery and Bath tie for 6 transactions total. And then, because that means first and second place are taken, the tie for third would be Mercer and Anderson counties, tying with 4 transactions in each of them in this year span. And then I didn't really know how to calculate 5, because most of the other counties, with the exception of 2 or 3, I think, they all had 3 transactions apiece for 50 to 100 acres. So it looks like Montgomery, Bath, Mercer, and Anderson really are the places where things have been for sale the most, or at least have sold the most. It's one thing to list, it's a different thing to close. And then I wanted just to point out one thing in the conclusions here, which is that April of this year was the biggest month. If I go from July of 2022 all the way to July of 2023, there were 8 total transactions in April. And I can't remember how that compares to last year. I should look that up. I should have looked that up before this video, but there's enough going on. So April looks like it had, the most productivity. And if you contrast that with something like residential, our biggest months, at least in this particular territory, realtor territory, is it's always August and September. Every single year, it's one or the other. If it's not the one, then the other one comes in second. Excuse me. So I don't know, springtime is where you might have the most luck in terms of most things for sale in general, most things sold, most things to choose from. One of the lowest months was December with 1 transaction, August with 1 transaction as well. So I don't know, could be anecdotal. I'm not really sure how to interpret all of that, but just food for thought. With that said, nothing groundbreaking here. Just wanted to give you the quick report. And our next videos will be transitioning into residential real estate, probably starting with like the homesteading type of configuration where there is a livable home and acreage surrounding that home, and then moving into more bona fide like neighborhood living. With that, please stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that stuff, and get in touch with me if you want to buy or sell some land, or if you want to buy or sell a home. I'm here. So thanks for watching. Adios.